Hello everyone, my name is Professor Raj Shekhawat. I'm Dean of Research at Flinders University. Now, I successfully completed my AICD program, the Australian Institute of Companies Director program. And I have a few reflections. I thought I'll share it with you all and see if they can be helpful to you. First of all, this course is an absolutely essential and really relevant course if you are thinking about being on a board, if you have an existing board, if you want to commence your career as a director, or if you're just interested in understanding a little bit more about governance. I think this is really helpful course. I really wanted to do this course and got really happy when I got one of the last spots in the June 2023 program in Adelaide. Now, before the program, you receive two big bundles of study material, and the expectation is you to go through everything before you do the 5-day in-person intensive. Now, of course, I've just started a new leadership role and I had lots going on, so I was not as well prepared. So what I did was just like a day before the next day, I would go through the relevant section in as much of a detail as I can. 5-day intensive was extremely well organized, amazing facilitators, and the best thing was the fellow colleagues and fellow participants with whom you get to do this course. They bring so much of richness and insights into the programs. There were CFOs and CEOs and other people from various backgrounds and sector, and that brings so much of richness in conversations and discussions that was really helpful. And also you make really lasting connections and network with these people as well. So now talking about the big part which was really challenging for me, that is the assessments and exams. So after the 5-day intensive program, you are supposed to finish a quiz, an exam, and an assessment within the 3 months period. So the usual recommendation is the moment you finish your 5-day intensive, try and take a day or two off and try and finish all of those things as soon as possible. However, in my case, that didn't happen. I had so much of travel and work responsibilities that I just couldn't do anything for a month after my program, okay? And after that, I started thinking that I should do it, and I was kind of trying to look through things, but then of course, work travels and other things were happening. So when it hit almost like the 2-month mark, that really stressed me out, and I thought, okay, I must finish this because in case if you were to resit, the examinations assessment, their marking period can vary up to at least 3 weeks time. So you want to know the outcome, and you need to have a little bit of a time before the 3 months window, just in case if you need to resit. Fingers crossed, and thankfully I didn't have to resit. But my suggestions for the quiz is take multiple practice quizzes which are available on the AICD website, and they give you access for that. Take as many of those quizzes as possible and potentially try and put this director's hat on and try and think like a director. What would you choose or what would you do? That mindset helps you to sort of do a little bit better in those quizzes. So I almost took 13 quizzes, and initially I would fail and then I started passing, and then I would get almost 20 out of 20 correct. So I think it's just a practice, and doing them multiple times was really helpful for the quiz. The actual quiz questions in the exams are very different, at least in my case, compared to the questions which were there in the practice. So you can't be thinking that, oh, I'm going to do all the practice questions and something similar will come in the exams. Similar insights, but very different questions. So that's my tip for you for quiz. Now the second segment is the short answer questions. There are 4 short answer questions, one from each section, like from governance and practice of directorship, second from legal environment, third from risk and strategy, and the fourth from finance literacy and performance. Now for those, again, I did lots of practice questions, and while I was doing those practice questions through the AICD website, it also gives you the standard expected response to those questions. So by doing those questions, you will quickly summarize all the standard responses and almost create template For governance and practice, what should be the template for various scenarios? What would be the template for legal environment questions? Similarly for risk and strategy, as well as finance literacy and performance as well. Creating that template was also very, very helpful. Now, once again, the actual questions in the exams were different, but they were almost similar in the context that if you have done enough practice questions, you would be able to think through like a director across in various scenarios. For my exam, I booked my Saturday. So from morning till afternoon, I was just practicing and going through the study material as much as I could, and then blocked some time in the evening where I came to my office and I did the exam. Now, if people think that it's an open book exam, so you can just search things around from the study materials, and then you can look through things and which will help you. In my case, I thought the time was just enough for you to read through the question and write your responses as systematically as possible. So it didn't give me enough time to look through internet or other searches. I practically relied on the knowledge I gained by going through various exam questions and study material. And finally, of course, is your assessment, which is the 3,000 words plus minus, I think 10%. Now that assignment, they give you 2 case studies. You can pick one of those, and then it was really, really helpful for us to create that network of peers with whom we were doing this course, brainstorm those scenarios, and then take some notes and craft your response accordingly. So I think the peer network was really, really helpful. Discussing things with your peers was really, really helpful. So in summary, can I say that it's really, really scary, especially at my age and in my context, when you haven't done an exam in like decades, to almost appear for these exams and quizzes, and almost this fear that what if I don't do well, or what if I fail, or what if I had to resit. But it's what I realized is as long as you work really hard, you prepare and plan really, really well, go through your study materials, and almost try and switch this brain in terms of rethinking from a director's perspective, that can be really, really helpful. So look, don't let the worry or anxiety come in the way. Plan and prepare, and then you should be all right, okay? If you happen to have any questions, feel free to get in touch with me. I'll be very happy to share some of my notes or have further discussion. This is a brilliant program, and I can't wait to be on some boards now and utilize this new knowledge which I have gained. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.